There comes a time in every life when our hands grow weary from holding on too tight. We grip, we plan, we strive, thinking that if we just do enough, fix enough, control enough, we can shape the outcome. But deep down, we know we are not the ones who hold the stars in place. We are not the ones who breathe life into the morning or draw the tides to shore. And yet we live as if every burden must rest on our shoulders. But oh, how different life becomes when we dare to release that grip. When we let go, not into chaos, but into the care of a mighty loving hand. There is power in surrender. There is peace in trust. There is strength in stepping back and saying, I don't have to figure it all out, because there is one who already has. And when we stop trying to control the storm, we may just witness the miracle we were too busy to see. Let go and watch what unfolds when you let him take the lead. Every day you wake up, you stand at the crossroads of 1,000 choices. Some seem small, like what to say, what to do, where to go. Others feel heavier, like who to trust, what to pursue, when to walk away. But the truth is, there are no small choices. Every decision you make, no matter how quiet or quick, sends a ripple into the future. You may not see it today or feel it in the moment, but the path you walk tomorrow begins with the steps you take right now. Your future isn't waiting to be found. It's being formed, decision by decision, choice by choice, moment by moment. Life is not built in leaps and bounds, but in steady, deliberate actions. That gentle word you speak to someone hurting, that moment you choose discipline over ease, that time you say no to what is convenient and yes to what is right. All of these plant seeds. And what you sow in obedience, in faith, in love, you will reap in strength, in peace, in purpose. You don't build a destiny by accident. You forge it with intention. Your calling isn't just discovered in the mountaintop moments. It's revealed in the faithful, unseen decisions when no one is clapping and no one is watching. It's easy to think you have time, to believe that one more compromise won't matter, that you can drift a little and come back later. But drift always leads away from direction. Destiny doesn't chase comfort. It demands courage. The kind of courage that says, I will choose the hard road if it leads to truth. I will choose patience when shortcuts look easier. I will choose to forgive when bitterness would be more satisfying. Every one of those choices, every one shapes you. It shapes the kind of heart you carry. It shapes the future you step into. There will be moments when you feel like your choices don't matter, like the world is spinning too fast, and you're too small to make a difference. But you were created with purpose. You were formed with intention, and the fire inside you was not placed there to be ignored or wasted. It was placed there to fuel something eternal. You are not here just to survive this life. You are here to live it in such a way that others catch fire from your faith, your boldness, your integrity. That starts with choosing wisely. Daily, consistently. Sometimes the right choice is the hardest one. The one that costs you something, the one that makes you stand alone, the one that asks you to leave behind what is familiar for what is greater. And yet, it is in those moments that your destiny sharpens, that your character deepens, that your future opens up in ways you never imagined, when you decide to walk with strength when fear calls you back, when you move forward in faith when doubt surrounds you, when you give even when you feel empty. These are not just decisions. These are declarations to the world and to yourself that your life is not being wasted. It is being invested. You may not see the reward today. You may not get the applause or the answer right now, but what is being built in the unseen will be revealed in time. Doors will open, peace will grow, wisdom will blossom, and the person you are becoming will begin to reflect the purpose you were always meant to fulfill. You are not made for the sidelines. You are not called to live in hesitation. You are designed to walk boldly into the future with your head lifted, your heart steady, and your eyes fixed on what matters most. There will be storms. There will be battles. There will be nights when you wonder if any of it is worth it, but you hold on. You keep choosing what is good, what is pure, what is strong. You keep fueling your future, not with fleeting emotions, but with steady obedience. Not with what the world says is popular, but with what your spirit knows is right. Because destiny is not determined by one grand moment. It's built in the steady rhythm of faithfulness, so choose life, choose truth, choose courage, choose to act today like the future depends on it, because in many ways it does. Choose to be the kind of person your future self will thank you for. Choose to believe that your choices are not lost in the noise of life, but are singing a melody that echoes into eternity. Choose to live like you are building something sacred, because you are. Choose now, because now is where destiny begins, and faith takes form, and the fire of your purpose is fanned into flame. Every step you take in this life carries weight. Every word you speak, every action you choose, every path you follow, it matters. You were not placed here by accident. You were not meant to drift through life waiting for something to happen. You were created with intention, shaped with purpose, and called to move with clarity and direction. Life is not a series of random moments. It is a divine invitation to live with meaning, to walk with focus, to move with purpose. Too many live as though they are passengers in their own story, reacting instead of leading, wandering instead of walking forward. But when you begin to live intentionally, when you understand that every decision is a brushstroke on the masterpiece of your life, something shifts. You begin to see that time is not just something to spend, it is something to invest. Energy is not just something to use, it is something to direct. You begin to rise each day not just with routine, but with reason. Living with purpose is not about having all the answers. It's about knowing where your heart is anchored. It's about choosing what matters, even when it's inconvenient. It's about standing firm when everything around you pushes you to sway. It's about making decisions not based on fear or approval, but on truth and conviction. Because when you know why you're moving, how you move begins to change. You stop chasing what is fleeting. You stop bending to every trend, every pressure, every distraction. You begin to guard your mind, protect your time, and honor your values. You begin to walk away from what dims your spirit and lean into what strengthens your soul. You begin to understand that greatness is not built overnight. It's built one decision at a time. One morning where you choose discipline. One evening where you choose peace. One conflict where you choose grace. These are not small moments. These are defining moments. There is a power that rises when you live on purpose. It doesn't always come with noise or recognition. Sometimes it's quiet. Sometimes it's lonely. Sometimes it feels like you're swimming upstream. But when you live with intention, you are not just surviving. You are shaping the future. You are making choices today that will become the foundation of your tomorrow. You are walking in a way that leads others to walk with courage. You are lighting a path not just for yourself, but for all who follow behind you. And yes, you will be tested. You will be tempted to take the easy way, to settle for the shortcut, to follow the crowd. But that is when purpose speaks loudest. That is when the fire inside you reminds you who you are and why you started. You were not made to fit in. You were made to stand out, not for fame or applause, but for the sake of truth, for the sake of light, for the sake of what lasts beyond this world. There is strength in stillness when you know your direction. There is confidence in waiting when you know your purpose. There is peace in pressing forward when the steps are ordered by something greater than ambition. And there is victory in living each day knowing that you are not wasting time, you are walking it wisely. Intentional living is not about being perfect. It's about being present. It's about being aware that your choices echo, that your words matter, that your work has meaning, that your faith is not just a belief, but a way of walking. It's about turning ordinary days into sacred opportunities to build something eternal. You may not see the full picture right now. You may not feel the fruit of your choices immediately, but do not be discouraged. Do not grow weary, because when you move with purpose, you are sowing seeds that will bloom in due season. You are laying bricks that will carry the weight of something beautiful. You are walking a path that may not be easy, but it will be worth it. So live today on purpose. Speak with kindness on purpose. Show up with integrity on purpose. Forgive with courage on purpose. Let your life be a testimony to what happens when someone refuses to drift, when someone refuses to waste the precious gift of time, when someone chooses to align every step with a higher calling. You are not too young. You are not too late. You are not too broken. You are right on time to begin living with direction. You are right where you need to be to start walking in power. Not the power of pride, but the power of clarity. The power that comes when you know who guides your steps and why you walk at all. And when you begin to live with that kind of purpose, nothing can shake you. Nothing can stop you. Because you are no longer just moving, you are moving with intention, and every step forward is a declaration that your life was made to matter. And your decisions are building a destiny greater than you can imagine. There is a weight in the present moment that few recognize until it's gone. We live like we have endless time, like the next day is promise, like our steps are just part of a routine with no lasting effect. But the truth is, your next step matters more than you think. That step you take today may not feel like a turning point, but it could be the very choice that determines the direction of your life. We often wait for a big sign, a grand opportunity, a loud voice telling us what to do. But life rarely speaks in echoes. It speaks in whispers. And if you're listening, if you're truly aware of what's within you, you'll understand that every small act has eternal meaning. Acting today, like tomorrow, depends on it. Doesn't mean living in fear or anxiety. It means living awake. It means recognizing that the seeds you plant now will grow into the garden you'll walk through later. It means understanding that each conversation you have, each decision you make, each moment you spend is writing the story you will someday read. The words you say to those around you may seem forgettable, but they can become the anchors that hold someone together in a storm. The sacrifices you make when no one sees them may be the bricks that build the bridge to your future. We are not meant to walk aimlessly. We are not called to stumble our way through the years, hoping things somehow work out. You were given a mind to think, a heart to feel, and a soul to discern. That's not by chance. That's because what you do today truly does matter. And when you begin to believe that, you start to live differently. You wake up with more purpose. You speak with more clarity. You choose with more conviction. You no longer waste time with things that dull your spirit or lead you in circles. You begin to press forward with intention. There will be times when the next step feels uncertain, when fear tells you to pause, when doubt whispers that you're not ready. But don't let hesitation steal what faith is ready to build. Don't let comfort become your cage. The future you dream of, the strength you seek, the peace you long for, they are not found in staying still. They are found in stepping forward, even if it's slow, even if it's trembling, because forward is forward, and obedience is powerful. Even in small doses, you may think your present choices don't count for much, but the truth is, every time you choose discipline over distraction, every time you choose forgiveness over resentment, every time you choose faith over fear, you are shaping your destiny. You are building a foundation that no storm can shake. You are becoming the person you were created to be. Not in a single day, but in a lifetime of moments surrendered to what matters most. Your next step may be to let go of something that's holding you back. It may be to finally speak the truth you've been avoiding. It may be to forgive someone who never said they were sorry. It may be to take that leap of faith that everyone else says is foolish. But whatever that step is, take it. Because the danger is not in failing. It's in refusing to move. It's in settling for less than what you were made for. It's in ignoring the tug on your soul that says, there is more for you than this. You are not defined by your past. You are not trapped by your circumstances. You are not bound by what others say about you. You are free to choose a better way. You are free to move forward, even if it's hard. And with every step that honors truth, with every step that reflects hope, with every step that shows love, you are walking not just toward your future, but into your purpose. So act today like tomorrow depends on it, because in many ways it does. Your words today can heal wounds you don't even see. Your choices today can open doors you never imagined. Your kindness today can change someone's life without you even knowing it. And your courage today can start a chain reaction that blesses generations to come. Time is not something to kill, it's something to cherish. Every moment is a gift, and what you do with it is your offering. So live like your next step matters, because it does. Live like what you do today echoes in eternity, because it will. You were made to walk with boldness, to live with purpose, and to act with conviction, not someday but right now. Because the future you want begins with the choices you make today, and the next step is always the most important one you'll ever take. Life rarely changes in a single moment. Most transformations don't arrive with fanfare or lightning. They begin quietly, with a decision so small it almost feels invisible. A choice to say yes when fear says no. A step toward something better when comfort says stay. A whisper of obedience in a world screaming for compromise. That is where momentum is born. Not in the mountain peaks, but in the valleys, where you decide to keep moving forward, even when no one sees. This is the power of decision momentum. It is not about perfection. It is not about massive, sweeping change in a day. It is about understanding that small choices, consistently made, carry the weight to reshape your entire life. The world often tells you to wait for the right time, the big break, the perfect feeling. But if you wait for everything to be just right, you'll never move. Momentum begins when you move anyway. When you decide to wake up 5 minutes earlier and fill your mind with truth. When you choose to speak life instead of complaint. When you choose to forgive even though your pride wants revenge. These are not just good ideas. These are holy moments where destiny quietly shifts. What starts as a small act becomes a pattern. That pattern becomes a rhythm. That rhythm becomes a lifestyle. And before you know it, the person you used to be has been replaced by someone stronger, more grounded, more full of purpose. But it didn't happen overnight. It didn't come through one heroic leap. It came through the quiet commitment to keep showing up, keep choosing right, keep honoring the process, even when results seem far away. You see, the power of decision. Momentum is not just in the action, it's in the direction. When you align your decisions with where you want to go, you stop living by accident and start living with aim. You start seeing that every no you say to temptation is a yes to freedom. Every moment you choose truth over distraction is a step into clarity. Every time you turn away from bitterness and toward healing, you are strengthening a muscle that will carry you through storms you haven't even faced yet. There will be moments when your small choices seem too small to matter, when you're tempted to believe that skipping one step won't hurt anything. But momentum doesn't disappear all at once. It fades through neglect. It breaks down through inconsistency. The same way you build it, one decision at a time, you can lose it the same way. That's why intentionality matters. That's why even the little decisions should not be dismissed. You're not just building habits, you're building a life. You're not just practicing routine. You're preparing for purpose. Every great accomplishment began with one decision. One person who said, I will begin, I will try, I will trust. And from that single act, a chain of events unfolded that changed everything. You may not feel strong right now. You may not feel qualified or ready, but you don't have to be. All you need is the willingness to choose light when it's easier to stay in the dark, to choose growth when it's easier to settle, to choose love when it's easier to hate. That choice creates a spark. And if you fan that spark through action, through repetition, through faith, it becomes a flame that will light the way, not just for you, but for everyone around you. The world doesn't need more people waiting for perfect conditions. It needs people who understand the sacred weight of their next decision. People who know that momentum is not something you find, it's something you create. And once you create it, once you build it, you guard it, you protect it, you feed it, because momentum is like fire. When fed, it spreads. When ignored, it dies. So make the call, send the apology, start the journey, end the habit, begin the prayer, step into the opportunity, refuse the lie, embrace the truth, and do it today. Then do it again tomorrow, and then again the day after that. Soon enough, what once felt impossible will become natural. What once required effort will become instinct. Not because life got easier, but because your heart grew stronger. Because your mind became clearer. Because you stopped waiting and started building. That's the miracle of momentum. It's not a burst. It's a build. It's not emotion. It's resolve. It's not dependent on how you feel. It's anchored in who you're becoming. So don't underestimate the power of your next choice. Don't despise the day of small beginnings. Don't overlook the daily opportunities to shape your story. You were made to move. You were made to grow. And the change you long for is not as far away as it seems. It's wrapped up in the decisions you are about to make. So choose wisely, choose faithfully, choose boldly. Because when you do, you are not just deciding for today. You are building the life you'll live tomorrow and the legacy you'll leave forever. There comes a moment in every life when you realize you are not just passing time. You are building something eternal. Every breath you take, every word you speak, every decision you make is writing a story. And that story doesn't vanish when the day ends. It echoes. It leaves a trail. It becomes a part of your legacy. That legacy isn't built by accident. It's built by intention. It's shaped by every yes you give to what is right and every no you offer to what is wrong. Each one may feel small on its own, but together they carve the path of your life and define the testimony you will leave behind. You may not feel the weight of your choices in the moment. You may not always see the impact of what you say yes to or what you refuse, but just like drops of water wear down stone, your daily decisions form the foundation of who you are and what you leave for others. Say yes to kindness, and you plant seeds of healing in someone else's soul. Say no to compromise, and you build a wall of strength that will protect generations. Your legacy is not a distant dream. It is being shaped right now. In the way you live and love and lead, living like it counts means understanding that life is not a rehearsal. There are no reruns, no rewinds. What you do today matters because today is a gift and tomorrow is never guaranteed. Too many wait for the big stage, the loud spotlight, the grand opportunity to make a difference. But the truth is, greatness is built in the hidden moments, in the quiet resolve to keep going when it would be easier to quit, in the silent prayer when the world feels too heavy, in the unnoticed act of love when no one else is watching. Every yes or no is a declaration of who you are and what you value. When you say yes to patience, you resist the pull of frustration. When you say no to bitterness, you break the cycle of pain. When you say yes to humility, you make room for growth. When you say no to pride, you invite grace to lead you. These are not random acts. They are intentional steps toward the kind of life that leaves a mark long after you're gone. You don't have to be wealthy or famous to leave a legacy. You don't have to stand on a stage or write a book or lead a movement. You simply have to live with purpose, to show up with honesty, to make your moments count. Every child you encourage, every person you forgive, every truth you stand for, every temptation you resist. These are the bricks that build a life of meaning. These are the echoes that reach far beyond your years. There is power in a single decision. Power to change a life, power to heal a wound, power to break a chain. And when you begin to see your choices through the lens of legacy, you start to live differently. You start to walk with more intention. You begin to guard your heart and focus your time. You stop settling for what's easy and start striving for what's eternal. There will be distractions. There will be voices telling you it doesn't matter, that your choices are too small, your influence too weak, your story too ordinary. But don't believe that lie. The legacy of light is built by those who believe that faithfulness matters, that love matters, that character matters, that even when no one is clapping, even when the reward is unseen, what you do in truth will never be wasted. You have the power to say yes to a new beginning, to break free from habits that keep you bound, to walk away from things that steal your peace, to invest your time, your energy, your life into things that endure. You can say no to fear, no to shame, no to the thought that your past disqualifies you from leaving something beautiful behind. Because legacy is not about perfection, it's about direction. It's about choosing every day to move toward the kind of life that points others toward hope. Your yes has the power to bring light into someone's darkness. Your no has the strength to stop generational cycles of pain. Don't underestimate the sacred weight of those words. Don't treat them casually. They are tools in the hands of the willing, instruments in the hands of the faithful. And when you begin to wield them with wisdom, you build something no one can take away. So live like it counts. Speak with intention, act with courage, forgive with mercy, love with depth. Let your yes be true and your no be firm. Because what you are building is not just for you, it's for your children, for your friends, for strangers you may never meet. It's for a world that desperately needs examples of integrity, compassion, and strength. It's for the one who gave you life and calls you to live it fully. Each moment you have is a chance to write a sentence in the story of your legacy. Make it a story worth telling. Make it a story filled with light, anchored in truth, and built one decision at a time by a life that knew the value of every yes and every no. So walk forward today knowing your choices are not wasted. Every yes to what is good, every no to what is harmful, builds the legacy you were born to leave. You don't need the world's applause. You need a faithful heart, a steady spirit, and a willingness to live like it counts. What you do matters, who you are becoming matters, and how you finish this race will be shaped by the steps you take now. Let your life speak louder than your words. Let it shine with purpose.